There is a new trend here that is happening, maybe not new, not so new. Not just in Canada, it's also happening in Europe, by the way, Ireland. It's sex for rent. There was an investigative report that has been done on this in Canada, so let's talk about it. You are an international student. You or your parents have dreamed for a better life. Not in your home country, unfortunately, but in North America, in Canada. You make it here, and you are a new student. You may be naive or you may be vulnerable for a number of reasons. Because when you are an international student in a new place, you may not know a lot of things. You get on Craigslist, you're looking for an apartment, and you see this ad, FWB. Of course, you want to save money, FWB. What does that mean? Before we get more into this topic, I just want to play this clip. This is actually real. This is happening. This is not an actor. This is a journalist that works for CBC, which is our national television here in Canada, went undercover, and this is what was happening.
The guy comes out of the coffee shop, makes his introduction.
Hey, Jacqueline?
Thank you.
Be welcome.
Yes. I can sit here. I saw that offered free rent, so I was like interested in meeting you. Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what kind of with the friends with benefits sort of thing, right? If you're into that.
I want to hear from your terms, because a lot of people say different things, and that's one thing I find.
We fool around a little bit here and there, right? Sort of.
When you say
In the same bed, right?
okay, there's only one bed.
Yes.
Okay.
So just imagine for a moment that man, he's in public place, in a coffee shop. And he is making that proposal to this young lady. And he's just getting started, by the way. The next video is even more graphic. So I warn you, but it's important that we listen to this. Take another listen.
Is sexually explicit content.
I like to know people's expectations.
I like to orally please.
You like what?
To orally please.
To orally please.
Yeah, stuff like that. Finger play. If you're not into actually having sex, that's cool. We can do other things, right?
But we want to know if there's any other way to pay.
So what if sometimes I had money to pay rent? Like, so I wouldn't just be...
I would be like,
working for
save
free?
it, girl. If you're, hey, I don't mind helping you out if you're kind of helping me out too, right? You know what I mean?
You only want girls?
Of course.
Like young girls?
Not necessarily without legal aid. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm willing to help someone out. You seem to be smart. You're pretty. You're younger. You need a hand. You need help. A little bit of basic help, sort of.
Yeah.
Hamilton's brutal, right?
Really?
Yes. Be careful. Don't be gullible, right?
Just imagine. I mean, just what he's saying to the lady, that in order for the lady to have a place, I mean, I guess he's renting, not even sounds like they're gonna be sharing the bed. They're gonna be sharing the bed. She has to do all those sexual favors for him. We are in a housing crisis right now in Canada, where rent is unaffordable in major cities. I mean, in Vancouver alone, a small bedroom can cost you easily, 500 square foot can easily cost you $2,000. $2,000. Imagine that. And our salaries don't quite match. It's not just international students or students. This is actually, it can happen to anyone because the cost is completely unaffordable. I live here now for over 20 years and things are just awful. It's always been very challenging in Vancouver because of a high cost of housing, but now the living cost is insane. And so that video is happening in Toronto. and people are obviously taking advantage of that. And if you look into this, actually, if they have those ads on Craigslist, which I'm not even sure why they're not filtered, it means there are people who take that offer, who do those kind of things, unfortunately. In fact, there's another lady that they did an interview for that she was already renting, and when the landlord broke up with the boyfriend, he started to knock on her door, demanding that she does all this kind of sexual favors for her. This type of things makes me sad. It breaks my heart. The human suffering is something that doesn't sit quite well with me and shouldn't sit well with anyone. But I was once a vulnerable young male. Um, I am an orphan, and so human suffering really gets into my very core of who I am. But keep watching, because we will also see what you can do about this. And if you are yourself in this situation, find a way to get out. Find a way to get out. Really reach out. It may not be easy, because actually this turns into a sex trafficking of some sort. Women are held against their will. They are threatened. They are threatened that if they say anything, I mean, this is not new. Whenever there's a sexual abuse of any sort, there's always like, if you say something, we will end your life. We will harm you. And maybe in some cases, maybe they've had their passport confiscated. What we can do is raise awareness about it, through our platform, and that's what I'm doing here. So watch this, share, comment, send words of encouragement to anyone who may be watching this and is that situation. I am sure there are women or even men who are stuck in this situation. If you are new in Canada or are thinking of coming here, you must know that there are laws. They are not always enforced. There's always people like this who take advantage of this system and start doing all these crazy things. But there are laws. If you live in BC, there is a Tenancy Act. It's what you're looking for, depending on the province. But there should always be a Tenancy Act that clearly stipulates your rights as a tenant, so that before you get into an agreement of renting a home, you know what your rights are. It's important to know your rights and understand the roles and responsibility. And I don't think there's anywhere they say that sexual favor is one of them. I know, because I rent houses. I've been doing that for the past 20 years. So know your rights. But mostly, if you are browsing on Craigslist, that's where most of these ones are coming from. I mean, if you see, I'm not even sure you will go for it, that women only, then please be careful, or even don't. Why would they even want just women only? I mean, some people are very clear, and they say, hey, you will get a free room. Why are they giving you a free room? Nothing is free in this world. Why are they giving you a free room? And if you simply cannot afford it, then maybe you should not be in this country if you come to study. But no, ahead. Don't just land here. Mostly, if you are a new students, what I would recommend you do is that you stay with other students that you know through the community, referred maybe through your church, but mostly go in the student housing in your first year in Canada. Go in the student housing. Stay close to other students, because together you are less vulnerable. And learn how to manage your money, right? I think we are living in an era right now where everything is material. Maybe there's too much exposure to all this fake life we see on Instagram, and we think everybody lives like a queen or a king, and they all have flashy cars. And yeah, that's not the reality for most of them. I mean, I'm sure you should know this by now, but in case your parents didn't tell you, I'm telling you this. So live within your means, and choose to live where you can afford. If you can't afford it, if you're planning to come to Canada, And there are some even students here, international students, who found themselves on the street. You see what that it means. Interesting enough, when they interviewed this gentleman about what he's doing, the one sitting at Tim Hortons, he said that he's actually helping people. Really, he truly believes, and that's even scary because he believes that he's helping. He's helping people. He's helping all those vulnerable young women by taking advantage of them because they need a place to stay. They can't afford it. And yeah, Toronto also is very expensive. I know when I was getting ready for my startup event, I was looking at um, housing just within the Toronto core. It was very interesting. It was very expensive. It's awful to be in a vulnerable state and not be able to find ways out. But the best thing is before it even gets crazier, before you even get stuck, don't put yourself in that situation. Don't put yourself in that situation. If you're gonna go on Craigslist, well, I won't even use Craigslist. I will actually look at rental housing space. There's a real estate, well vetted, where in fact landlords have to pay to list. It's not free. So maybe that removes, hopefully, those crazy requirements. But that's why I will look at those real estate website. Stay safe out there, guys.